State hosts Thanksgiving services, prayers to celebrate President Tinubu's 73rd birthday. Federal Fire Service seeks installation of onboard cameras to curtail tanker accidents. On the foreign scene, death toll from Myanmar, Thailand earthquake passes 1,600. And in sport, United States University appoints Nigeria's Ganiat Adeduto as head coach of women's basketball team. Now the details. I am John Omoaka. Lagos State government has celebrated President Bola Tinubu's 73rd birthday with Thanksgiving services and prayers held simultaneously at the Chapel of Christ the Light, Alausa, and Lagos Secretariat Community Central Mosque, Alausa, as well as other religious centers in the 5 divisions of the state. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu led Christians faithful at a program held at the Chapel of Christ the Light, Alausa, while his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, led a special birthday prayer at the Lagos Secretariat Community Central Mosque, Alausa. Speaking during the service, Governor Sanwo-Olu thanked God for the gift of President Tinubu and for the great impact he has made and still making in Lagos. On his part, Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat enjoyed Nigerians to exercise patience and work with President Tinubu to ensure that the various policies initiated by his administration to revive the nation's economy for the good of all yield positive results. In his sermon, the prelate emeritus of the Methodist Church of Nigeria, Sunday Makinde, thanked God for sparing the life of President Tinubu while commending the president for taking good giant steps in his reforms and infrastructural development. Also, Imam Akim Lawal, in his message at the event, commended President Tinubu for choosing the path of prayer and thanksgiving to celebrate his birthday this year, noting that one of the unique ways to be successful as a leader is to be thankful and submissive to God. The Lagos State Drivers Institute, LASRI, has stressed the need for all road users to take safety measures during the Eid al-Fitr celebration seriously. In our Eid al-Fitr message, LASRI General Manager Afusat Tiamiyu commended the Muslim faithful for adhering strictly to Islamic injunctions of denying themselves food and drinks during the holy month and urged all to imbibe the spirit. Tiamiyu explained that this period is often characterized by increased movement and activity on the road, leading to an increased risk of traffic crashes if safety measures are not given the needed attention. She admonished all road users to take frontline responsibility for their safety and that of other road users by refraining from overloading, speeding, and engaging in dangerous driving to ensure a safe and incident-free Eid al-Fitr celebration. The Lagos Waste Management Authority, LOMA, has called on residents to properly badge and dispose their waste through their PSP operators during and after the Eid al-Fitr festivities. LOMA Managing Director Muyiwa Gbadegeshi, who made a call, said the authority has put adequate measures in place to ensure that the celebration is observed in a debt-free environment. He noted the LOMA's resolve to tackle all forms of improper waste disposal in the state, which led to environmental degradation, appealing to residents to patronize only assigned PSP operators and shun baggage cart pushers whose activities undermine the agency's efforts. Badegeshi said PSPs will be working all through the celebration irrespective of their assigned days, stating that trash bags will be distributed via the waste collectors to enable residents bag their refuse properly. He urged the populace to desist from dumping waste indiscriminately on road medians, canals, uncompleted buildings, and other unauthorized locations, assuring that LOMA would be providing backup services for PSP operators in areas with service gaps. The Loma boss also appealed to motorists to drive with caution to protect the lives of sanitation workers who would be active on major roads across the state during the festive period. Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ahmed Audi, has assured the public of a peaceful and secure Eid al-Fitr celebration following the deployment of a large number of personnel across the country. Audi, in a statement signed in Abuja, confirmed that the Corps has activated its officers in various zones, states, and formations to ensure a smooth holiday period. He also addressed recent security concerns, particularly attacks on pipeline installations, emphasized that any act of vandalism targeting critical national assets and infrastructure would not be tolerated due to its detrimental impact on the nation's economy. Audi stressed that effective collaboration among security agencies is key to combating crime and maintaining public safety. And now to the rest of the stories. The Federal Fire Service, FFS, has highlighted the critical need for the installation of onboard cameras on tankers and other articulated vehicles transporting flammable materials. Controller General of FFS, Abdul Ganiyu Jaji, stated this in his Eid message, saying the service is on red alert to address possible emergencies across the nation before, during, and after the period. Judges said this precautionary measure is aimed at preventing accidents and ensuring safety of the public and critical infrastructure, especially during the high traffic period of Eid celebrations. He called on relevant stakeholders to adopt these safety measures to reduce risks and enhance overall road and critical facility safety. The fire service boss has urged the citizens to familiarize themselves with the contact information of their local fire service units, ensuring prompt action in case of fire emergencies. The Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa, CAPA, has urged government at all levels to reject privatization models and instead invest in the public water sector to ensure that water remains a public good, not a market commodity. This is just as it raised serious concerns about the efficacy of World Bank-supported privatization reforms intended to improve access to potable water in rural communities across Nigeria. The organization made a call at a media presentation of its new report, Big Debt, Big Thirst, a case study of World Bank-supported projects in Ekiti, Rivers, and Bauchi states. CAPA's executive director, Akimbode Oluwafemi, noted that water is a basic human right and the government cannot afford to outsource it to private companies whose primary concern is profit, not the welfare of citizens.
Research reveals that the water crisis confronting Nigeria and much of Africa cannot simply be attributed to environmental or demographic pressures alone, but also the predictable outcome of decades-long state withdrawal from public investment, coupled with the aggressive imposition of neoliberal policies forcefully presented as pathway to development.
On our part, the program officer on water campaign, Sefa Ikba, noted that new reports reinforce the argument that water privatization, like the electricity sector reforms, has failed to improve service delivery while burdening citizens with high costs.
As CAPA, we think that the Nigerian government needs to declare a state of emergency in the water sector. You know, there are sectors where the government cannot afford to play, and water is one of them. And that is because every day you use water, water is like air. You don't need to be sane, you don't need to be young. Every day you use water, no matter the state of your human form. And the government cannot afford to outsource that to private entities and allow the prices of water to be dictated by market forces.
CAPA, through its new report, recommended that the government explore public funding mechanisms, such as using revenues from natural resources to finance water infrastructure projects and ensure long-term sustainability. And now to foreign news. The death toll from a huge earthquake that hit Myanmar and Thailand has surpassed 1,600 as rescuers dig through the rumble of collapsed buildings in a desperate search for survivors. Myanmar's military government in a televised message confirmed that more than 3,400 injured, with at least 139 people still missing after the magnitude 7.7 earthquake. Reports say it was a pretty uncomfortable night of lots of people as they chose to sleep outside for fear of another incident. Videos show citizens in parks putting mattresses outside their homes, even as some still confirm aftershocks, which were not significantly large but enough to make people feel uncomfortable returning into built-up structures. The earthquake severely damaged critical infrastructure, including major bridges and roads, making it difficult for humanitarian operations to access areas in need. Now sports. Washington University has appointed a United States-based Nigerian sportswoman, Ganiat Adeduton, as a head coach of its women's basketball team. Adeduton was the coach of Colgate University women's basketball until a new appointment. The basketball professional trainer served as the head coach at Colgate University from 2021 to 2025. During her tenure, she led the team to great feats, achieving back-to-back 20 victory seasons and setting the school record with 23 wins in the 2024-2025 season. The Associate Vice President and Director of Athletics, Michael Limpitz, described Adeduton as the right leader to return the university's women's basketball to the top of the A10 and the national stage. And that's our news at 9. Just before we go, ensure you make use of your seatbelt while driving. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sonlu administration empowered 600 women with indigenous business ideas to the tune of 4 billion naira through the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, LSETF W initiative to empower Lagosians? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government has celebrated President Bola Tinubu's 73rd birthday with Thanksgiving services and prayers held simultaneously at the Chapel of Christ the Light, Alausa, and Lagos Secretariat Community Central Mosque, Alausa, as well as all the religious centers in the 5 divisions of the state. The Federal Fire Service, FFS, has highlighted the critical need for the installation of onboard cameras on tankers and other articulated vehicles transporting flammable materials. We also told you that the death toll from a huge earthquake that hit Myanmar and Thailand has surpassed 1,600 as rescuers dig through the rumble of collapsed buildings in a desperate search for survivors. And in sport, George Washington University has appointed a United States-based Nigerian sportswoman, Ganiat Adeduton, as the head coach of its women's basketball team. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adewale Olowokoroku. I am John Omoaka. Thank you very much for listening.